Mike Zuber, one rental at a time, and I did not do another live stream today. But Zillow came out with a report that I read, and it had some stuff I agree with and some other stuff I thought was interesting. I will go ahead and look for the article and put it in the description below after I finish this live stream. So give me 10 or 20 minutes after it's over and I'll put the article there. But in essence, Zillow is forecasting a price decline in housing values of 2 to 3% this year, 2020. Housing nationally has only fallen once since the Great Depression, and that was obviously during the Great Recession. So for a company kind of on the forefront of needing real estate transactions to come out and say, hey, values are going to fall, I think that is interesting. Just so you know, value fell peak to trough nationally 27% during the Great Recession, just for context. What is really interesting is the forecasted fall in transactions. They're forecasting at least a 50%, if not a 60% fall in real estate transactions. That means, frankly, lots of things. That means that real estate agents and real estate brokers, wait if I can turn up my mic. There it is. That's the loudest my mic goes. Thank you for that, by the way. So again, real estate transactions and going down 50 to 60% will mean pain for real estate agents and real estate brokerage. But also means opportunity, right? If you can admit you know what's coming, you can try to get a hold of it. Don't act like it's yesterday, act like it's tomorrow. So there's lots of things real estate agents should be doing. And we can talk about that in a subsequent video. But again, back to Zillow's article. They were basing their information, again, on, let's call it a 3% decline in prices on two factors. First, they were saying that their base case is that GDP for the US will fall 4.9% in 2020, followed by a rise of 5.7% in 2021. Basically saying, hey, if GDP is worse, expect more price declines. If GDP is better, prices won't fall as much. I actually don't think I don't think GDP would be the number that I would ask you to look at. I would ask you to look at unemployment. I think the magic number for unemployment is 10%. I think there's a psychological, advantage, disadvantage of being above or below 10%. Housing is the largest investment that most people will ever do. Signing on a dotted line for a 15 or 30-year mortgage is frightening at the best of times. And for many folks, when they see unemployment above 10%, even if they're employed, they're not likely, in my opinion, to sign up for a bigger mortgage or more, a larger payment. So I don't think I would have picked GDP. I think I would have picked unemployment. And what I would tell you is, as long as unemployment is above 10%, I would tell you real estate transactions and values are going to be falling. We are clearly entering a buyer's market. I actually think this buyer's market will be made up of traditional buyers, which are falling. These are the 30 and 15-year mortgages. A lot of people that follow this channel will learn or facilitate creative financing. There will be plenty of subject to buying, basically where you buy on terms versus value. And if you buy with terms, you can actually pay yesterday's value as long as you're controlling a property that allows you to hold it long-term, produce cash flow and things of that nature. So I believe 2020 is going to be the land of creative financing. If I was a real estate or real estate brokerage, I would try to get ahead of this. There are plenty of sellers who have only put 3.5% down that don't have any freaking equity and can't get out. So they think their only option is foreclosure. If I was a real estate agent, I would try to find creative buyers like myself and find a way to help these people and still get paid. It's the reality that we are in. My alarm went off. Oh, are we still live? Sorry about that. My alarm went off. I don't know how to use my phone. My bad. What I was saying is the part of the article that I did agree with is that housing fundamentals are strong. That is very true, meaning low supply. I think that is absolutely true. The other thing that was really valuable is new listings are down 40%. That is data that is very interesting for us to follow. And again, nobody wants to sell, nobody wants to buy, nobody wants to let anybody in their house. This is just the reality that we're getting in. The other thing the article talked about is the high end being in super trouble, right? If you're 2x the median, your buyer pool is down. It's harder to get a yes answer with jumbo loans. The whole financing market has changed. If you have a high end home and you're trying to sell, it's going to be a rough couple of years. So if you don't have to sell and you can hold for 4 or 5 years, it might be a good idea. But if you have to sell, just like we saw in the housing crash, maybe it's better to take a small loss now instead of a big loss later, or find a buyer who's willing to do creative financing to get you out from underneath that mortgage debt, and they'll carry that for you. So again, if I were to sort of critique Zillow's forecast, I think they're a little bit rosy. I would probably say nationally we're going to 5 to 8% decline this year. I think transactions down 50 to 60%. That's kind of like right on. The high end is in trouble. That's going to get smashed across the board. And high end means 2x whatever the median is. So that's interesting. The other thing is, I don't think I would have used GDP as my comparison. I would have used unemployment because, again, buying a home is about consumer confidence, and I believe consumer confidence is impacted above 10%, and maybe it just feels a little better if we get underneath that. So that's what I would have probably tracked. But in the end, I will now go back and find this article again and post it for you. All right? All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. No more live videos. I'm done. I got one more interview at noon that I'm going to do here shortly, and I wish you all a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.